Here are 3 cool ways to lace Knu Skool VANS, including loose lacing, bar lacing, and diamond lacing. Timestamps for each are down below. Let's get into it. Here's how to lace Knu Skool VANS. Start by taking your lace, and we're going to thread each lace end down into the 2 very bottom eyelets here from above. So just take a second to wiggle that in. If your eyelets are kind of like tight, you can just wiggle the lace end to help them go through easier at any point. Then swap to the other side and bring that lace end down to the very bottom eyelet on this side, making sure to wiggle that through like that. Awesome. Then before we pull all this extra lace through, get your lace ends, hold them together like this, and then grab a hold of your VANS and pull that lace all the way through. And what this will do is mean that your laces come out of equal length. If yours haven't, don't worry, pause the video, make sure they're of equal length before we carry on. There's literally no rush. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace and we're going to bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the next available eyelet on this side from above, just like we did before. Just give it a wiggle, pull that through. Awesome. Pop it out the way, swap to the other one, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Bring it down into the next empty eyelet. Give your lace end a wiggle and pull it through. Looking good. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace and we're going to bring it over the sneaker tongue again and down into, it should be the 3rd eyelet up from the bottom now. Next available eyelet. Brilliant. Pull that through, pop it out the way, swap back to the other one. Now remember, you can play this video on a half speed or pause as much as you like. Just go at your own pace. And we're going to bring that lace end down into the next empty eyelet on the other side. Looking good. Now you might want to take a second to make sure you like how your laces are crossing. It's looking fresh. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace, bring it over, and we're just going to fill in that next available eyelet on this side, just like we've been doing. Awesome. Swap to the other one and do the same on the other side. Bring it down into that next empty eyelet. And I absolutely love the plushy tongue on the Knu Skools, but it can get a little bit in the way of the lacing. So if you want to shove it out the way, you can do that. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace and we're going to bring it over the sneaker tongue, down into the next empty eyelet. Looking good. Swap back to the other one. Bring it down to the next empty eyelet. Great. Keep a hold of this one. Bring it over, down to the next empty eyelet. Awesome. Then swap back to the other one. Do the same on the other side. Great. Now I would just suggest stopping every now and then, making sure those laces are crossing neatly. And when you reach the final eyelet on your Knu Skools, we're going to do something slightly different here. Instead of taking the lace end down into the eyelet, we're going to bring it up into the eyelet from underneath. I'll show you what I mean here. So keep a hold of this lace. All right. Bring it over, find the final eyelet, and we're going to go up into it from underneath this time. So bring it a little closer so you can see. And remember, these eyelets can be kind of stiff, so just take your time. Once you got it through, we're going to pull it through around about this much. Don't worry about this excess lace, just leave it there for a second. Swap back to the other one, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Bring it up into that final eyelet from underneath this time. Awesome. And we're going to pull it through about this much so they're equal on each side. Now with all this excess lace, what we're going to do is so easy. We're literally just going to take it back and tuck it behind the sneaker tongue like this. These laces are super soft. That will just sit on top of your foot inside the shoe and it won't bother your feet at all. And it keeps your pattern looking really crisp and fresh and will allow you to slip on your Knu Skools each time without the need for tying them. Repeat on the other shoe and you'll have a really awesome pair of loose lace Knu Skool Vans. If you found the info in this video helpful, please hit the like button for me to help it reach others, and consider subscribing for more sneaker lacing content. Thanks guys! Here's how to bar lace Knu Skool Vans. Start by taking your lace, and we're going to feed each lace end down into the two very bottom eyelets on either side here, from above, just like this. Pull that one through, swap to the other one, and pull it through. Awesome. And before we pull the little bit extra through, grab a hold of your lace ends and bring them to an equal length like this. Pinch them, grab your Vans, and then yank them through together like that. And this will mean your lace ends will come out of equal length. And then if you have any twists, it takes 2 seconds to fix that, just like that. Cool. If you want to make sure your Vans are of equal length before we carry it. If you want to make sure your laces are of equal length before we carry on, just pause and take a second to do that. It's no problem at all. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip the second eyelet up from the bottom. And instead we're going to go to the third eyelet up from the bottom here. And we're going to bring that lace end through it from underneath, if that makes sense. So pull that through and you'll have a little empty eyelet here. Then we're going to keep a hold of this, take it over the sneaker tongue and down into the third eyelet up from the bottom on this side. So that's what I call the corresponding eyelet. This is the one that matches. Pull it through and you'll have a little bar there. Then what you want to do is swap back to the other one. And we're going to fill in these two little holes here by taking this lace end and going up into this one on this side first. Pull that through. Then we're going to take the lace over and that lace end down into the empty one on this side. Pull it through. And then we've filled in those holes. Then keep a hold of this lace before we carry on. Just feed it underneath there to make sure it's got range of movement. And we're going to repeat that pattern. We're going to skip the next empty eyelet up, and instead we're going to go up into the one just above that from underneath like this. Then we're going to bring this over the sneaker tongue and down into the corresponding eyelet on the other side. Looking good to get our bar. Then we're going to swap to the other lace and we're just going to fill in those little holes. So bring it in through the one on this side first. Then we're going to take it over and down into the eyelet on this side from above, just like this. Pull that all the way through. Looking great. Pull that through there. And then we're just going to take this lace, pop it up and out the way for now, and we're going to do something a little bit different to finish off the pattern. We're going to swap back to this lace, and instead of skipping a lace on this side, we're going to go up into the lace eyelet that's next available, like this. And we're going to bring the lace over the sneaker tongue and down into the corresponding eyelet on the other side, just like this, to complete the pattern. Now, I don't tend to like to fill in the very top eyelet because it covers up the Vans logo, but you can do that if you want to. But I personally don't. I think it looks better. Then we're going to take a hold of these excess laces and we're just going to tie them in a loose-ish knot like this. And then we're going to drop that down inside the shoe, tuck it out the way behind the sneaker tongue. And when it's out the way, just adjust your bars. And that lace is super soft, it won't bother your foot at all, and you'll be able to slip your foot in and out of your Knu Skools without the need for tying them each time. Repeat on the other shoe and you'll have a really awesome pair of bar lace Knu Skool Vans. If you found the info in this video helpful, please hit the like button for me to help it reach more people, and consider subscribing for more sneaker lacing content. I have loads of videos available for you guys. Thanks! Here's how to diamond lace Knu Skool Vans. Start by grabbing your lace, and what we're going to do is feed each lace end up through the very bottom eyelets of either side. So just wriggle that through, pull that one through. Now the eyelets on Knu Skools are kind of stiff, so just take your time. You can pause as much as you need throughout this or play on a half speed. Swap to the other one, and we're going to bring it up through the very bottom eyelet on this side from underneath. Pull that through, and we're just going to take a little time to adjust the laces and make sure they're of equal length. Once you've done that, we're going to take a hold of this lace and we're going to bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the third eyelet up from the bottom on this side. Making sure we leave that second eyelet there empty. We're going to do the same with the other lace. Take a hold of it and we're going to bring it down into the third eyelet up from the bottom on this side. Looking good. And pull that through. Awesome. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace and we're going to fill in that second eyelet here by coming up into it from underneath. So just follow along with what I'm doing and pull that through. And we're going to do the exact same on the other side. We're going to fill in that empty eyelet by coming up into it from underneath, just like this. Awesome. Then we're going to repeat that pattern again. Let's take a hold of this lace and we're going to bring it over. We're going to skip an eyelet, instead go into the one just above. Make a little X. Make sure there's no twists in your laces. It definitely happens, so always take a minute just to fix that. Pop that out the way, swap to the other lace, and we're going to do the same on this side. Skip an eyelet, and instead we're going to go down into the one above that from above. Making sure there's no twists. Awesome. Then we're going to fill in those empty eyelets again. So take this lace and fill in the empty eyelet from underneath. Pull that through and do the same on the other side. Grab a hold of that, find the empty eyelet and bring that lace end up through it from underneath. Looking good. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a hold of our lace end, and instead of skipping an eyelet this time, we're just going to find the next empty available eyelet and we're going to bring that lace end down through it like this. And the same on the other side. Find the next empty eyelet and bring the lace end down through it, just like this. Now take a second to adjust your diamond pattern, making sure you can see all the little gaps that make the pattern pop. And then we're going to take these lace ends and we're going to bring them together and we're going to tie them in a very loose bow like this. And then we're literally just going to take these excess laces and chuck them down inside your Knu Skools. And these laces